This is the Hercules DJ Control Inpulse 300 Mark II. And in this review, I'm going to talk you through the features of it, tell you where it sits in the market, and help you decide if this is the right beginner DJ controller for you. It's changed quite a lot since it was originally launched as the Mark I, and so we'll cover what makes this different. By the end of it, you'll have a good idea about whether this is right for you. I'll also give you a couple of alternatives as well. So this is an entry-level controller that's designed to work with Serato DJ Lite, as well as the supplied DJUCED software. And that's good because the previous model only worked with the supplied DJUCED software, which is actually very good, and it's free. Whereas Serato DJ Lite, yes, it's free, but they want you to upgrade to the expensive version of Serato. So at least here you've got a choice of going with the supplied software, which is very good, or going with the free version of one of the most popular pieces of software in the DJ world, Serato, knowing that you'll be paying for an upgrade at some point when you want the pro version of that software. This is a cheap feeling plastic box, as all DJ controllers are at this level, but it does have a few things that make it different. It has built-in lights on the tempo controls and the jog wheels to help you beat mix. I'll move on to those in a minute. So taken in conjunction with the free software that comes with it and a few other features we're about to look at, it is slightly different to some of the other cheaper controllers out there. So let's have a talk around of the features to start with. Basic 2-channel software controller. There's no external inputs at all on this. Around the back, there's just outputs for your RCAs, which takes your audio off to your speakers. You're meant to provide speakers with this kind of DJ controller, and the computer input cable, although there is a strange little socket here which says for future use, so who knows what they'll put that to. Around the front of the unit, there's just one little 1/8" socket for plugging your headphones into, and that's it. So there's no external microphones or anything. That's all you get for the inputs and outputs on the unit. So 2-channel software controller. It's got a gain control, which is nice. That sometimes gets left off controllers at this level. So you do have a gain, and then you have a 3-band EQ. Again, some controllers at this level may only have a 2-band EQ, and a filter per channel. So this is nice. Headphones monitoring, including master monitoring, and basic crossfader and up faders. And you also get a master VU meter as well as the input VU meters, which is great. It's really, really nice to see proper metering on a controller like this. It's a big tick for this device. So looking from the mixer then to the decks, we'll just look at one because they're identical. Effects control at the top. It only turns off and on the first effects slot that you have set in Serato, but when you turn it off and on, you get the depth or the wet dry and the beat control. And that's nice. This is more control than you get sometimes on effects, but you will be choosing your effects and so on the screen using your mouse pointer. Nice low jog wheels. They do the job fine. And this area here is the real big thing when it comes to the jogs and the tempo fader, which by the way is really short. This area here and this area here tell you whether the current track is forward or behind the other track. These lights here will help you to line up your beats, and these lights will tell you whether your tempo is ahead of or behind the other track or bang on. And so using these lights, you can teach yourself manual beat mixing. And manual beat mixing is a really important thing to learn when you are becoming a DJ. Yes, these controllers all have a sync button on them, but to learn to manual beat mix will cut you free to DJ with all kinds of material on all kinds of DJ equipment. So it's definitely worth learning, and it's lovely to see that someone has put something on a controller to help you to learn that and to make that easy for you. Because one of the big things that people don't understand when they're trying to learn to manually beat mix tracks is which one's faster and which one's slower and which one's forward and which one is behind. It's something that is a bit like riding a bike. It takes a little while to get your head around. So well done, Hercules, for putting that on here. So the looping controls are pretty standard. I'd like to have seen a looping knob, but hey, this is a cheap controller. You've got on off and you can got your loop in and out points, and you can half and double the length of your loop. Nice to see a slip mode on here, which is a nice performance feature that, especially for beginners, you can do some tricks and it will keep everything sounding nice when you're in the mix. And also Quantise, another thing to help beginners. They've given a button there. Now when it comes to the pad section, they're only 1-color pads. You don't get multicolor at this price point, which is fine, but you do get all the pad modes, which means you can have things like sampler and loop and slicer and hot cues and other things dialed in here and do a lot more than just play your tracks. And this is all very basic: sync, cue and play, pause buttons here. So the audio quality is okay. There's actually strange buzz on this particular unit in one channel, but I'm going to put that down to it being a pre-production unit. They're generally fine, these things, so I wouldn't worry about that happening to you. But the audio quality is fine. It's not something you'd want to DJ with in a club or anything like that, but it's not designed for that. You know, this kind of gear here is what's designed for that, which costs $5,000, not $200. So don't expect the same kind of audio quality you get in pro gear, but that said, it's fine. It'll do perfectly for parties and for practicing and everything that you'd expect a controller like this to do. Like most similar controllers, you can navigate your library and load tracks using this knob here, which means you don't need to use the laptop to do that. However, I would like to have seen a headphones mix from Q to master. It's something that seems to have been missed out here, and I think that would have been good because it's a beginner controller, and sometimes beginners are going to want to DJ in their houses when everyone else has gone to bed, right? And it'd be nice to do all that in your headphones. You'll be doing it with quiet speakers with this controller because there's no blend between the master output and the Q output, which is what you would need to DJ in just your headphones with such a unit. So our conclusion on this, it's a good entry-level basic controller. 2 software channels, no frills there. The beat mixing tools are really nice. The fact that it comes with DJUCED software, which is their own software, as well as compatibility with Serato, it gives you the best of 2 worlds there. And it is cheap. It's like $199. Now, there are other beginner controllers down at the end of the market. There is the Pioneer DJ Flex 4, which is probably the closest we get to a industry standard at that end of the market. But this costs $100 more. This also works with 2 types of software, Rekordbox in that case, which is the industry standard for club DJs, and Serato, the industry standard for pretty much everyone else. So you get kind of more compatibility here, more features here, maybe slightly better build quality. You don't get the mixing aids in this, and the metering isn't as good either. So again, at this end of the market, it's always pluses and minuses. There are always things that some do better and some do worse. There are always features on some and not on others, and you'll never get everything on one controller at this end of the market. So it is worth just looking at the features that are important to you and then comparing and contrasting. This has got slightly better inputs and outputs. It's got a microphone socket on the back, and also will work, at the time of recording this, will work with a forthcoming mobile app for iPhones, iPads and Android and stuff. This one here is strictly just for your laptop, for Mac and Windows. So the Flex 4 is another one that you might choose, and you might also look at this one here, which is the another Pioneer DJ one. It's the Rev 1. This is just for Serato. Serato is really the platform you're looking for. Just another one that's doing pretty well at the time of recording this. There's a written version of this review with more information that you can click in the description, which will also take you into the Digital DJ Tips website reviews section, the most comprehensive searchable review section of all DJ gear anywhere on the internet. If you've enjoyed this, do consider joining Digital DJ Tips. We're the world's leading DJ school. It's absolutely free to join. On doing so, you will get yourself a copy of our book, Rock the Dance Floor, the #1 selling book on Amazon on how to DJ. Also our Digital DJ Gear Buyer's Guide, which will help you make the right choice when you're buying a DJ controller and hopefully stop you making expensive errors. It will also sign you up for our Tuesday Tips email, the weekly email from us containing free tuition, mixes, lessons and more, not only from the Digital DJ Tips team, but also from our tutors, Jazzy Jeff, James Hype, Laidback Luke, DJ Angelo, and many more. And it's totally free. So head over to digitaldjtips.com/join to become our latest member. I look forward to seeing you there. Meanwhile, this has been Phil Morse at Digital DJ Tips with our review of the Hercules DJ Control Inpulse 300 Mark II.